Hello. We're going to be doing something a slight bit different tonight. We are going to be searching a specific star for signs of radio signals there, signs of a technological life. A star that actually has a previous history for potential signal detection there. So we're going to be looking at Tau SETI, a very close by star. So hold on, let's get all of these rolling. Excuse me. Get ourselves moving across all of the other platforms as well. Hello, Harko. How are you doing? Good to see you in tonight. All right, let's get ourselves alive everywhere there, shall we? So, yeah, we're going to be searching for potential alien radio signals tonight from a very exciting close-by star called Tau SETI. So we've moved our dish, and that particular star should become visible to our dish in about 28 minutes' time there. So we're counting down. DJ is in already there. How are you doing, sir? Liked what you sent over earlier. So yeah, we're going to be looking at a very particular star tonight. So normally it's a general scan as the Earth rotates there. Our dish sweeps across the sky, picking up various hopeful signals from various stars. But tonight's a bit different. We've positioned our dish, so hopefully in about 28 minutes time we're going to pass over a particular star called Tau SETI. And why is the bottom one is off there? So if you're on the old, the other platforms, you're going to ignore the bottom sky map tonight there. That's still adjusted to the previous ones. But so it's that top section there. So very special, hopeful star hunt tonight, or signal hunt tonight. Let me get this moved over there. So yeah, we're looking at a particular star there. Now this star is about 11 or so light years from us here on Earth. But it has had a history of potential alien radio signals in the past, so that is why it's going to be interesting when it comes in range. So you can see that line at the top there. The actual star is a little bit off of the screen if you're here on TikTok there. It'll come into view soon there. We've got about half an hour until it gets into a range of our dish there. Hopefully, as we pass over that, we're going to hear some of those signals there. Leanne, Harko, and DJ, thank you for the gifts there. Appreciate that. Oh, and Harko and DJ.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
Thank you for feeding Alan tonight there. Harko's in as well. Carl is in. Good to see you tonight there. It was weird, wasn't it? I don't think I've seen footage like that in a very long time, because it looked like there was something almost folklorish about your sighting there. Feed him there, Harko, exactly. So yeah, we're doing something slightly different tonight. It is a live alien radio signal search once again, and we've got a very large radio antenna out there pointing to the sky, and it is with the Earth's rotation there sweeping across many stars, and we're hoping to pick up a signal there that is alien and technological in nature. But particularly tonight we have aligned to the dish so that in about 26 minutes time there, a star called Tau SETI will be in range. And that star, not only has it got multiple planets in its habitable zone there, and had potentially been sending us the signals in the past, it's also a very interesting star because it is a G-type star, I believe, basically the same as our sun there. So, you know, if there is going to be life anywhere, we know that life can exist around this type of star, so it does increase those odds. So we're going to be focusing on that very particular star tonight there as it comes in range of our dish there. So we've got to wait a little bit of time for it to come, with the Earth's rotation there for the star to align. But that is what we're doing there. Raw is in as well. Good to see you there, Carl and Leanne.
Thank you for the alien pets, guys.
But yeah, that's what we're doing. So it's an alien radio signal hunter once again tonight. And you're over there as well. You're on all the apps there. I'll go across all of the screens. So yeah, we're doing a little bit different. So it's the live alien radio signal hunt tonight. They're hoping to pick up ET saying hello. But what makes this a little bit different tonight is that we are focusing on a particular star, a star with a history of potentially sending signals. A close by star with many planets in its habitable zone there. B is in the house. You are everywhere. The omnipotent Harko there. He sees all. And B, thank you for the heart. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. If you're just joining us, say hello in the chat as well. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see where you're all checking in from tonight, where you're watching from there. But yeah, do say hello and also give us a follow, because we do something alien related pretty much every night. If it's a clear sky, we do a live UFO UAP skywatch to see the weird and wonderful things moving around in the skies live. We tend to see something pretty interesting every stream for those. And if the moon's up full, normally the early part of the month, so it won't be long there, we point at the moon, see all the craters, all the details, talk about how weird the moon is as well there. So you'll get those notifications, hopefully, when we go live. But B,
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
thank you for feeding Alan there. How are you all doing there? We're all recovering after the Xmas period there. It's almost wiped me out, and I haven't even done much there. Just got back from Groningen. Oh my God, I'm not going to pronounce that right. Was that a long drive for you, Harko? Guys, if you are just joining us, we are doing something a little bit different tonight there. So it's our live alien radio signal hunt there. So if the Earth rotates, our dish will sweep across the sky, and then it'll be passing over many, many stars. But we're waiting for one particular star indeed, called Tau Ceti, at about 11 light years, so 11.9, nearly 12 light years away from us. There, so it's quite close in stellar terms. It is at the end of our street, so to speak. It's not our closest star, but it is our closest sun-like star, so a star that is basically the same as our sun, because they all come in many different shapes, sizes, and materials. You know, they've all got a different sort of composition there. Most commonly red dwarf stars, but you know, they're interesting. They're smaller, but they are also believed to be more volatile there. So although we do see a lot of red dwarf stars with planets in the habitable zones for those, it's theorized that they're going to be shooting out little plasma bolts there and things like that, getting in the way and probably stripping the atmosphere of those planets, and maybe less are likely, to the best of our knowledge, to have life. But Tau Ceti is a sun-like star, and it has a history of sending potential alien radio signals to us here on Earth. So when that comes in range of our dish there in approximately 22 minutes time, so it's not long, then we're going to be observing it tonight, hoping to pick up some of those signals ourselves there. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, I think, tonight, trying to target, I think, specific stars that have the history of maybe sending these past alien radio signals there. And Big R, thank you for the likes, appreciate that. All of those likes and those shares, guys, they help massively for us to reach more and more similar and minded people there. The more eyes and minds looking at the phenomena and sharing their experiences, the better. So the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. So that is what we are doing tonight. But yeah, let us know where you're all watching from tonight if you're new here. Love to see you in there. Tau, so Tau Ceti, that's just the name of the star, and it's in the, is it Cetus, sister constellation there? And so it's Tau Cetus, basically. So the name of that particular star. I love some of these space names for things. And actually, hold on, can I do this? There you go. You won't see it fully there, but that is, you can see it behind the gift there. That is what that star system looks like there, very roughly. You can see all of the planets in orbit around that star, because we know of 5 exoplanets in orbit around Tau Ceti there. A lot of them are in its habitable zone there, so can have liquid water and therefore potentially have a life. So yeah, it's a G-type star, very, very similar to our own sun there. It's a little bit smaller on mass and radius, but not too much indeed there. So compare it size-wise, that is, you know, it's very, very similar to our star there. So yeah, it's a like for like, hopefully, or close. It's definitely our closest, potential match candidate there for a life. So yeah, we are waiting for Tau Ceti to come in range, and then we'll be seeing if any of those planets in orbit of that star are sending us a radio signal, hopefully. They're still quite rare, but it has sent some interesting, or it appears to have sent some interesting signals in the past. So yeah, that is what we are on the lookout for tonight. Yes, it's a little bit different. We are focusing on a particular star, but I mean, the radio's still there, still on screen, it is still working. So until we get there, it's going to pass over many, many stars, and there's still the potential to detect something over those. But Tau Ceti there is going to be the main one of interest tonight, because I think it's one of the closest by that has been potentially sending us signals, other than Proxima Centauri, which is very, very close. Very, very close indeed, but that is in the southern hemisphere, so we can't actually point our dish at it. But Tau, we can point our dish here at Tau Ceti there, that star. and it is on range. Again, guys, if you're over on one of the horizontal platforms, you can actually see a bit more of the screen. You'll see it in a second there. You'll be able to see more of the analysis that's going on. So there we go. And the top section is now showing you how long until that star gets in range of our dish. There's a little tracker for it. So do join us over on those ones if you want to see a little bit more of the analysis. But how is everyone? Stephen, good to see you in there as well. Zoe's in. Where are you joining us from tonight? Welcome aboard. How do we all feel about the alien phenomena there? And check as well, check Oscar, good to have you in. So yeah, as you're joining us, do say hello, Beerbuster 2. How has your festive period been, guys? But we are searching tonight for potential alien radio signals. Now, a star of interest is coming into range very, very soon. That's what the timer is at the top there, when that star is due to get into range there. Tau SETI, just under 12 light years from us there, has a history of sending interesting signals our way, potentially. So yeah, when it gets in range, we'll hope to see some action coming up on the chart here, some of those signals coming in, because that middle section is the live radio signals coming in across a frequency range. We're actually searching on a very interesting frequency there called the hydrogen line, and that is the channel on the radio dial there that scientists theorize we are most likely to hear a message from an alien civilization, should they be out there sending us signals. And that's where we've heard a lot of the interesting ones in the past, like the WOW signal has been right there. Oh, this is exciting. I haven't been here for a new star yet. So I actually purposely went out today on the roof and unbolted it and kind of tried to get the alignment just right to do the timings there. So it does. It's not easy to try and pinpoint specific stars, but that's what we're going to try for tonight. So yeah, I thought it'd be exciting because it has that history of sending those signals. So it's going to be exciting to have that one on screen there. Hi Zoe, I am from East Midlands and excited to join you all tonight. Oh, thank you, Zoe. I'm excited to have you in. How do you feel about the UFO, the alien phenomena as well? Are you a believer or are you a bit more skeptical there? And it's totally fine either way here, like a good mix of opinions there. Rio, evening, how are you doing there? It's amazing. I can't say thank you. Oh, that's very, very kind there, Pete, and I'll pass that one on to Pete. But no, it's you guys that keep me company all night and keep me sane. I appreciate that, and thank you for the gift. That's kind. It all goes back into the stream as well. So yeah, I thought we'd mix it up again tonight by targeting a particular star that has a history of potentially sending us some interesting radio signals there. So that is Tau SETI at just under 12 light years from us there. So our closest stellar neighbour is Proxima Centauri at about 4.5. So it's still very close. It's not our next door neighbour, but it's on our street in stellar terms there. But what's really interesting about this star, as we mentioned to me previously, is that it is a G-type star, so it is this very, very similar to our Sun. So without that definite confirmation of detecting life around other stars, I mean, there's a range of different types of stars there, so we have to go by what we do know, and we know there is life around a G-type star. So it should increase those odds for us, and what with the fact that it has potentially been sending us signals, and we know that there are planets in orbit around that solar system as well. So it could be very, very interesting. And all B as well. Thank you for the other gift there. But there we go. See, that is what that solar system looks like. I know the gift thing is covering it up slightly there, but you can see all the stars in orbit around Tau SETI there. So it's a little bit different to ours. I mean, we know 5 exoplanets there, and we do think that they are super Earths, those planets there, so bigger, much bigger than our Earth, but still a similar sort of composition. And there we go, that is what the stars compared to our Sun looks like there, Tau SETI versus ours. Very, very similar indeed, slightly redder as well. But yeah, that is what we're doing. We're on the live alien radio signal hunt once again tonight. Oh, you have no idea how my imagination is going right now. That's perfect. I mean, isn't it so fun to think of how different what life could look and be like existing around these other stars? I mean, you know, we're basing it on what we know and what we've experienced there, but it's so limited to the variations there. I mean, we've spoken before, haven't we, about the candy floss planets there. There are planets theorized to exist, and we think we've detected them that could or would have the consistency of candy floss. I mean, what is that? That is crazy, isn't it there? And Bristol Cryptid, how are you doing? Good to see you in. I'll say, where are you from? But I'm assuming the Bristol area, which is where I work, actually. Speaking of which, have you spotted anything interesting in the Bristol area? Because we're not too far from that. ourselves there. And Paleo, welcome aboard. Where are you joining us from tonight? Thank you for the follow. Good to have you all in. So yeah, we are searching for potential alien radio signals tonight. So what you're seeing in the middle of the screen there, just above me here, that is those live radio signals coming in there from our very large dish. They're being filtered, amplified and all that, what to kind of increase our odds of hearing the signals that we do want to hear. But at the very top of the screen, we are tracking the time until a particular star gets in range. And that star is Tau SETI there. 14 minutes until it is in range there. Paul is in. Good to see you there. Private Tomcat, how are you doing? Reporting for duty. How are you guys doing over there as well? But yeah, if you're new here, do give us a follow, because we do something like this every night. So if it's cloudy, we're doing the live alien radio signal hunt there. But if it's a clear sky, there's some footage. We do a live UFO UAP skywatcher, and we're based in Wiltshire, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle Country, and just down the road from Stonehenge. So these are skies to be watching for the phenomena there. Funny Bunny, welcome aboard. How are you doing tonight there? And B as well, thank you for the shares. Do appreciate that, guys. Those likes and those shares, they help us reach more and more like-minded people there, getting more eyes and minds on the phenomena, so we can all piece this puzzle together there. But look, the countdown, 14 minutes 8, 7 and 6 seconds there until Tau SETI gets in range of our dish for listening there. So hold on, and we're going to see if we're going to get any signals from that star tonight. It has a history of potentially sending us radio signals. That's what we're in the list now for tonight. We want to hear those signals and then confirm if they are potentially technological in nature there, because nature is very noisy in radio, so you have to filter out all of those ones there, and that's what we're hoping to receive from that star. But it's an interesting star because it is very similar to our sun, and we know that it has a number of planets in orbit there. But you're coming in with the shares there, and happy holidays to you too there, Funny Bunny. Have you had a good time? It's been nice. Doing nothing has been really tiring. It's absolutely crazy. But now work is approaching. It's less than a week away now, and I'm going, oh, all of those emails, all of that rubbish I've got to jump back into. Not looking forward to that one there. And B as well, thank you for the shares there. As well, and if we do, I'm immediately screen recording so the government can't erase it 100%. I mean, I encourage you guys to record and share away there, so it should be in range. Like this, there's degrees of in range here, so we're counting down now until it gets on the edge of our dish's potential range there. So that means it'd have to be a very loud signal, because the outer edges of the dish there, it's kind of weaker, so it's kind of like a threshold, so it'll just start to get in range there. And then that red box we've got right at the top there, that is the peak area of signal strength. We're going to have the best opportunity for hearing those signals. Then it'll kind of go less and less and less to out of range again there. But we're not far off. We're 12 minutes 27 seconds until we have that potential to get a signal, should it be ascending one there as well. And back to school for the kids are poor. Yeah, I remember that one, the stress of that. Oh, how long to imagine having 6 weeks off in the summer as an adult. What would we do there? And Motorhead, do you think distant galaxies will be listening to John Peel and Alan Freeman right now? I mean, isn't that such a cool thing to think there, that our media that we put out there is going to be picked up by aliens in the future, and they're going to go, what the hell is this? There. Well, the issue that there is around that is those radio signals will propagate and they will just go out there, but it's kind of like when you're shouting at a distance there. The further away you are, the quieter they get, until they kind of get so low that they're just technologically impossible to pick up. In fact, even doing these sorts of distances now, if you want to get a signal from the rovers on Mars there, you need a very, very loud, large dish to potentially get those signals. Then if we're talking even further away there, so another galaxy receiving our radio signals there, they'll need massive ones. But there is theorized that you could have radio telescopes, utilize planets for such a purpose like that. They do want to put one, don't they, on the dark side of the moon there. It'd be massive, and also uninterfered with our technology there. But it would be cool, wouldn't it, there? But radio and television signals, things like that, are actually quite weak. They're not very powerful ones. It's our radar is most likely to be the one that is picked up, because it is just such a strong, and also in the reverse, that we are most likely to pick up from an alien species there. Party and sleep for 6 weeks. I think I probably would get bored that amount of time, but it'd be nice to dream of that. I'd imagine I'd use it productively. there. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. We are waiting for a star, a particular star, to get in range there, because we know that this star is not only very, very similar to our sun there, it is also known to have about 5 planets in orbit there, and a couple of those are in that habitable zone there, the key area where liquid water can persist, and therefore life as we know it, and life might be much wider than that, but definitely life as we know it could survive there. But this star has a history of potentially sending us the occasional radio signal there that might be intelligent. So that is what we are looking out for tonight there. 9 minutes 57 seconds until that star is in range of our dish, if I've got it pointed correctly, but I think I have. I spent a while doing that. And Motorhead there, why did you pick this particular part of the radio spectrum to listen to? Motorhead, you are on the money tonight. I like that one. That is a brilliant question there. Normally I do talk about that, but totally forgotten. So we're listening to a 1.420 there. That is called the hydrogen line. And that is the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorize we are most likely to hear those messages from a potential alien race there, should they be sending those messages. And it's where we've had those interesting ones in the past, like the WOW signal there and other ones. We've had them right there. So if you think of the radio dial, because it's a very interesting point, if you think of your old car or analog stereo, then you'd have to tune it in, wouldn't you, to the number there. So we tend to think of them out, if you're not into your radio, there as channels, channel 1, channel 2, or whatever. But if you think of it this way, there are thousands of channels. There are all these different frequencies on the dial there. So why this one? Why the hydrogen line right down at the lower end? Why not somewhere else? Well, scientists think this one because hydrogen gas is the natural, is the most abundant element that we have in our galaxy there, the most abundant one. And because of that, it's nice and consistent across the board there. Wherever you are in the galaxy, this frequency sounds basically the same there because of that nice consistency. So it gives you a good baseline for the universe. So it's very useful for radio astronomy and learning about the universe there. Even if your communication technology is much more advanced there, this is you'd always be monitoring this for those scientific purposes there. So that is why they think that if you're going to put a message out there that you do want to be heard, and we're talking about a very particular type, which is a species purposely reaching out, sending a message to say hello, is anybody else out there? They think that this place is the place to put it. And over the years we have heard very interesting things on this frequency. Now let me get back to the chat there. There's a brilliant question there. Funny, did you hear about the signal from the other GW 190521, thinking the sound coming from it? I don't know if I have heard that one, actually. I'll have to have a look into that one. GW19052. It's when they have their planetary numbers there, their identification numbers, it's very difficult to remember. But maybe there. And it's cold in Holyhead, I bet there, Beer Buster, but welcome aboard. Hopefully you're snuggled by a fire with a nice hot water bottle and a cosy cup of tea. Have you ever seen anything strange in the night sky? If you are just joining us, everybody, let us know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you there. And if you've ever experienced something strange in the night sky that you cannot explain, we'd love to hear about that too. But we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight, and it's about 7 minutes time, so hold on. A star called Tau Ceti is going to be in range of our dish, and it's a very interesting star because it has been sending, apparently may have even been sending us signals previously there, but it is a sun-like star with planets in the habitable zone, so a very, very interesting candidate for life. And when that comes in, we're going to be monitoring, or I mean we're monitoring now, but that's when we're going to hope to detect some interesting signals there. So hold on, 6 minutes 43 seconds there. And Ghost, how you doing there? Did we see anything good? So this is the question. We have, I think we've detected some, not on this stream, I have to caveat that there, but as a species we have detected some very interesting radio signals in the past. That's what we're on the hunt for ourselves tonight. They are statistically quite rare, but the frequency of these does seem to be increasing quite a lot. In fact, the last few years there have been so many candidate signals potentially detected. It's been very, very interesting there. Radio guy, perfect, Motorhead. I do. I mean, I'm what do you call it? A keen amateur. I barely know enough to do this part of it there, but we're learning. Is how we do it, isn't it? There. Oh, no, never. Well, you know what? That's part of the reason I started doing these streams there. So our main one, obviously it's cloudy, so we needed to have something else to do on the cloudy nights, hence how this bit came around. But we normally do a live Skywatch, UFO, UAP Skywatch, because we're based in Wiltshire in the UK, just down the road from Stonehenge, but it's right in the heart of Crop Circle country. So I wanted to have an experience. I wanted to see something strange in the sky. And I tell you, doing it, we have done it. We have seen some very, very strange things indeed. Marco, did you catch anything? And did anyone get in touch? Not yet, Marco, not yet, but we are waiting. You've got the countdown there, 5 minutes, 23 seconds. That is when the star of interest is going to be in range of our dish there. Tau SETI at 11.9 light years from us. So quite close. It's on our stellar street. There, and it has a history of potentially sending signals, so it's going to be a very interesting candidate indeed. In fact, let's put some details up there. So that is what its solar system looks like there, star in the middle, and all of the other planets there in orbit around that star. A few of those, they're super Earths, they're bigger than Earth, similar composition but much bigger, much more mass. A couple of those we do think, but yeah. Look at that going around there, but it's very similar to our sun there. You can see like by like, side by side there. Very, very similar indeed, those two stars, and not too far away there. Funny there, GW, I need to write that one down. I want to look into this one right now. Hold on, let's do this. GW 19052 1. I need to look into that. It's communicating from a black hole. Now that would be very, very interesting indeed there. Oh, and as B says there, we are available on the horizontal one, so we're actually live on those two, and you get to see a little bit more of the screen as it'll come up in a second. There's more analysis going on. You get to see the middle bit, but there's more analysis going on, top and bottom, middle, left, right there. So do join us over there, because TikTok also throws us off every now and again, so it's always a good backup place to catch us there. The noise level of the signal is very silent tonight, at least so far. It does feel quieter, doesn't it? Doesn't feel as active, but we have changed the position of the dish where it's pointing to a line tonight, so it might be to do with that there. And look at the most habitable zone wise. Yeah, I mean, the habitable zone is interesting as a concept, isn't it? Because it's based on our understanding of what life is through what we've experienced and measured here on Earth. So it's basically, is it warm enough for there to be liquid water? Not too hot to evaporate, not too cold for it to freeze over. But as we're starting to discover, life is probably much more capable of surviving in much harsher environments. Even our own solar system, we're theorizing much further out planets and planetary objects there could host life. So maybe the habitable zone is a bit of an old way of understanding it, but hey, it's still a place to start there. And is that Thrillhausen? Thrillhausen, I like that name there. How are you doing tonight? Welcome aboard. Good to see you in there. Oh, me and my son saw a bright light that changed colours and then sped off. Now, that is very, very interesting, Beerbuster. So when we're doing the live sky watches, we tend to see, especially during the summer months there, we see a lot of satellites and things moving around in the night sky, and it's quite hard to filter out the anomalous from the, from the prosaic, from the explainable there, because it's just so busy with things like that. But one of the things that we look for there is that change of speed. So anything up there in orbit there. So normally, I mean, I'm assuming there was no noise for a helicopter or a plane. You can normally with your gut filter those things out there. So normally it is satellites that's left there, but that change of speed there that you witnessed, that immediately rules out a satellite there, because they are basically falling to Earth in a big circle. Their speed changes or even trajectory changes are not really noticeable to us here down on Earth. They're so subtle. So that is very, very interesting. What were the colours, out of curiosity as well there? Life, it finds a way. It does seem to. I mean, even now in our own solar system, our one case study here is Earth, and look how diverse life is there. There's a species, an organism, a microbe for every niche, every environment there. Why wouldn't the solar system or the wider galaxy, the universe even be the same there? And when we look to it, NASA is now eventually coming around and saying, look, it does look like there's fossil evidence of a life on Mars. And in the 70s, they detected microbial life existing, being alive there and then on Mars. We do think that they're a little bit behind there. So it does look like 2 planets in a row have got it. And then Venus is potentially also having detect some microbes in the clouds there. So why wouldn't it be abundant if we were just getting that this close here as well? And And I think the thinking is coming from another dimension. Well, this is things we don't we in the UFO world. Old school is nuts and bolts, little green men coming from other planets there in their metal spacecraft. But actually, it could be so much more interesting than that. That may be one of the things. And I think that's probably multiple things coming and going. You know, why just the one? But yeah, dimensional is a component here. Time is also a component as well, which really blew my mind. The extratemporal model as well there. Loving the hashtags there. Appreciate that, guys. Those likes, those shares, those hashtags, the tapping away, and all that. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, getting more eyes and minds on the phenomena, so we can all piece this puzzle together there. And my kid is loving the stream. Thank you, Funny Bunny, and thank you, Funny Bunny's kid. Don't stay up too late, but welcome aboard. I'll try and limit the swearing. And it went from purple to red to blue and then to green before it spread. So, okay, the whole range of colours there, because immediately colours people think about navigation lights, don't they, on planes there, which is red and green and white and things. So you get the strobing of that there. But blue, that's an odd one there, and green. Well, yeah, I mean purple as well. That's very, very interesting. That's a very good sighting. How long ago was it as well? That is brilliant. And this is what I love about doing this stream, actually, is that, you know, we get to meet all of you guys, and then every now and again somebody comes on stream and they get to share the story, and you get to hear that thing you wouldn't hear anywhere else, and, you know, so piecing that puzzle together of the phenomena there. And whilst I've been yapping, look what's happened. Tau SETI is now in range there of our dish, so the big green dot, that's, you know, the linear track across our dish's range there. So we've got it in range. Oh, time to peak range, actually. God. So we've got 54 minutes until it's in its absolutely best spot, so, you know, the maximum amount of dish there to capture any signals that probably will be quite faint over these distances. But in theory, where we are now, we can detect if there's a particularly loud radio signal there. So keep an eye on the countdown. But also this bit directly above me there, that is the radio bar messages there. The signals will come in live there as well. Loving the hashtags and the stickers there. Kate, hello. Thank you for the share. Appreciate that. And oh, my friend saw a massive craft drop down near to the surface level on the log at night. Now that is cool, because the one thing I haven't seen there, like Moted and everyone else, and Zoe as well, thank you for the gift, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Mark as well, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks,
it's guys. A bit cruel that it's the alien pets, but who am I to judge the alien culture there? But yeah, I haven't seen like that defined craft shape. I've seen lights in the sky, various lights in the sky, moving in various anomalous ways, and some of them have been really quite cool, but I haven't seen that, just the outline of the saucer there, or the triangle formation. Actually, we did see a triangle formation, but I didn't see like the ship of it. We saw the lights, and that is what I would love to have, that sort of experience there as well. It's about 2 months ago. It's also a fresh one, because it does feel, doesn't it, like the phenomena could be picking up a little bit at the minute there. You know, and I'm not sure, is it that because as technology advances, we're all so much more connected, just like we're all here tonight sharing our experiences and looking live for evidence of the phenomena? Is it that we are more connected now, so we're actually just getting a more accurate representation of what has been going on the whole time, or is the phenomena actually increasing there? It's a good argument in both ways there. And could you turn the signal sound up for about 10 seconds? I just want to check if it's yeah. Oh, let's turn the music down. Turn that up and I'll stop yapping. Put it down there. It's an interesting sound, isn't it? Because that is a signal live, and that is called the cosmic microwave background there. Scientists think that is the remnants of the Big Bang. Where are we? How you doing, Mark? Have you had a good weekend? I keep forgetting what day of the week it is. We're in that no man's land now, aren't we, between Christmas and New Year there. Stephen, the Death Star is in range there. Flywood ready. How you doing? A up as well. Good to see you in there. There's an underlying sound tonight. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's turn this down. See if we can. Let me turn the music off fully, actually, because it might have been that. I'll turn my mic off. Is it a bit different tonight? There. No worries there. Oh, my ears are doing a weird thing. It could be both there. And another saw a sphere watching him, and a friend's then said shot off horizontally and did a 90-degree turn. That 90-degree turn there, we don't know of anything prosaic there. that can explain that movement behaviors. That is a very, very cool thing to see. I'd love to see that one myself. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight there. As the Earth rotates, our dish will sweep across the sky and we'll hopefully pass over a star that is inhabited and be sending us a signal there. We're searching on a frequency called the hydrogen line, and that was where the WOW signal was heard there, and a number of other interesting signals over the years that could potentially be alien. And it is the channel on the radio dial that scientists do theorize is the most likely place to hear a message from ET, should they be out there sending us a signal. But we're doing it a little bit differently tonight. So the regulars will be going, what's the stuff at the top of the screen there? So what we're doing tonight, I went out and I've hopefully got it correct. I pointed the dish to basically point at a specific star. So we just kind of let it run with whatever is in the night sky in that, wherever it's pointing, basically. But no, this time we have aligned it to capture a star called Tau Ceti. And you can see it there, the green one on light in range there. It's going to move across in and out of range of our dish there tonight. But it is a star very, very similar to our sun. And it's very close by. It's about 12 light years. There away, so that is on our street in stellar terms there. And what's very, very interesting is that we have potentially had signals from this star before. So as the night goes on there, the star is going to get more and more in range of our dish. So it's kind of on the edges, the fringes. It's working its way into to the zone where that red box is there of optimal listening ability there. You're going to have most of the dish pointing at it, basically. It doesn't have to be as sensitive. We can pick up quieter signals there tonight there. But it's a very interesting star. We know that there are 5 exoplanets in orbit there. So let's bring out the little box here. There you go. That is what the solar system of Tau Ceti looks like. They see all those different planets orbiting there. A few of them are in the habitable zone there, so capable of having liquid water. And I think a couple are theorized to be super Earths. So the same consistency of what our Earth is made up of there, but much, much more massive there. So it's a very interesting solar system there, quite close by. But yeah, the fact that it is, there you go, that's a side-by-side of our star, the sun, versus Tau Ceti there. Very, very similar indeed there. It means it's quite stable there, because other stars like red dwarfs are theorized to be much more volatile, and they're sort of cosmic, what do they call them there? Coronal mass ejections, the plasma they shoot off, basically could strip the atmosphere of planets in the habitable zones of red dwarfs, is one of the theories. So this, we know, is very similar to our star, our sun, so therefore could be hosting life and sending us those signals, because we have potentially had a few things from that star back in the past there. So the sphere motif, that was a brilliant one as well. We've had a few people come in that have talked about almost being stalked by these spheres over rooftops, which is very interesting. When we went on location, every now and again we do physically take the skywatcher kit up to the local Iron Age hill forts and places of interest here in Wiltshire, where there's been a history of weird things. And the last one we did, I thought I saw an orb playing. Like it was weird. It was just about 100 or so yards from us, very, very bright. It could have been a trick of the light, could have been set off in the distance, but it's very, very strange there. And Jules as well, thank you for the heart, appreciate that. And it all goes back into the stream, but that was very, very interesting there. Or a fluttering tick. It could be interference there, because I've noticed there is a bit of background noise on my little thing there, so it might be that. Oh no, I do head behind the usual even. I like it. I have to hum it for us there. Almost sounded like a laser firing quickly. I'll have to have a listen into it. There. So another saw a large sphere with oil-like swirls inside, which moved towards him, and he took off. I mean, I would too. I mean, desperate for an experience like this, but then I think being faced with something like that at night on your own, I would be a little bit Scooby-Doo there as well. But that, speaks to the potential organic nature. So a lot of people think, it's the lights in the sky, but that, that's just a light being emitted or reflected. But behind the light, there is a physical craft, but not necessarily there. I mean, there's many theories around this, but potentially. One of the theories that has been floated for at least some of the phenomena is the plasmoids there, a sentient form of plasma-based life that's been with us the whole time on Earth, because it is so different from us. We haven't really recognised it as life, so that could account for something like that there. Oh, it's definitely inside of the signal. That is even more interesting there. I mean, we are getting the interference line, but then we are meant to only be listening to this frequency, so very, very interesting there. Oh, time out of range. Oh, I don't know what the timer's doing there, but I think we're now in the peak of the signal. We're in the red box there, so we have to ignore this part of the signal thing. Maybe, I don't know. It's the first time I've used this, so I have to figure it out there. But now we're now into the dish's main range there, I think. There, where are we on the old tubes? We've been neglecting you guys there. Oh, where are we? My eyes have totally gone there. Oh, wow, that's a decent-sized spike this evening. It is. We've moved the dish slightly up. We've moved the dish to try and align with this star there. I haven't a clue what day it is. I get the feel. I think it's a Sunday. It's. Thank you, Stephen, for confirming. I have got no confidence it's a Sunday, though. You can tell me that, and my phone can say it's a Sunday, but do I believe it there? Oh, posted a couple of really interesting articles in the Discord today. It's about the drones over Lakenheath in November 2024, and the video that is interesting because that was the drone flap from last year. I have to check that one out. I've been so slacking at the minute of everything. Like the less I do over Christmas, the less I can do. I've really fallen out of my routine, so I'll have to check those ones out because that does sound interesting. The drone flap there for the year before got to 25, and we're still in 25, just about there. But speaking of that, well, guys, we do have a really cool Discord community that you're welcome to join. They've got a really good interesting things sections out, just mentioned there. We put all sorts of news and stuff associated with the phenomena, like podcasts we've watched. Could be interesting news articles there. Got a whole section on free eye analysis if that is your bag, and also my favourite bit is the personal experiences section. It's absolutely phenomenal. You guys are sharing your first-hand accounts with the phenomena, images and videos too, so you can add yours or just to read through those as well. Does HARP affect your equipment when it's activated? It's a good question. So I haven't noticed anything, but then again, I don't know when it is activated there, but I think HARP is more targeted, isn't it, and directed, if I'm understanding correctly. So as far as I understand, yeah, I don't think I've picked up anything there. But you know, you're a radio guy. Is that a phenomena that has been picked up? As people in the sort of the radio community there notice that? Because I mean, I've not even really considered it at all. That's a very interesting one there. I know there are a few interesting radio phenomena that kind of touch into our area, like long delay echoes and things like that. But yeah, I do wonder if HARP is it that detectable? Have you? Yeah. Oh, no, that's. I've not thought about it, Motorhead, but you've got me thinking now. And B, I've been watching the blue lines in the orange lines, and they are moving along with the sound there. I mean, well, it is meant to reflect, isn't it? That's the peak of the signal there, so I imagine it would fit all in there. A little dance. It's nature's version of the lights to music sort of. If you remember those, we used to get them with like old music players. Do a little light dance to the song. This is nature's version now. It is Sunday. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a Sunday, does it? Not to me anyway. But if you are just joining us, say we are excuse me, we are searching for potential alien radio signals tonight there from a particular star called Tau SETI, and it is on its little track here. I think it's about there. It's behind the little tracker there. So it's in range of our dish, and it's a very interesting star indeed. It is about 12 light years away from us here on Earth, and it has a history of potentially sending us some strange signals. Blue Nose, how are you doing? Roscoe as well, welcome aboard. Guys, if you are new here, do just say hello. Love to hear from you there. Green Grass, how are you? Good to have you in there. Thank you, Blue Nose, for the likes there. Those likes and shares, guys, they do help us reach more and more like-minded people there, getting more eyes and minds on the phenomena, so we can all piece this puzzle together there. But yeah, Tau SETI is what we are looking at today there. So it's a star 12 light years from us here on Earth. So it's on our street in space terms. That's quite close by. But the real interesting thing is, and I cannot express how interesting this is here, is that it is a G-type star. So it's very, very similar to our sun there, which is interesting because we know that life can exist around a sun like ours, a star like ours. There's our one data point that is officially recognised there. Roscoe as well, thank you for the share. So yeah, this is a very interesting planet, star there, but it has got planets in orbit as well. We have been able to detect exoplanets. We've detected 5 so far from this star, and there you go. That's what it's the solar system of Tau SETI looks like there. So there's quite a few in the habitable zone, and they appear to be super Earth, so much larger than our Earth, but similar sort of composition there. So the closest sort of, as we've got really to an analog of what we have here as well. Then that is what how SETI looks like compared to our star, the sun. Right, so they are very, very similar indeed, but slightly smaller there. And did SETI name the star Tau Ceti? Carl, honestly, that I thought you couldn't get a perfect one, could you? There. So SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, is what we're doing tonight. Radio SETI there, and this star is literally called Tau Ceti. I mean, S and a C being sort of around there. But I thought, you know, the chart. If we're going to find it, this has got to be the one, doesn't it, Carl? There. So I like that you got the same thought process as me there. Let's have a look there, and the signal noise is making my tinnitus worse for some reason. Oh, hold on, let me wind it down a touch for you there. Is that any better there? And a high-pitched whistle. And it's a good article posted about life on Mars. I think I read that one. There was one I read that you posted, and it was a Mars-related one, and it was really interesting. But I commented. If it was that one, it was one that I think I messaged you, commented on it. Still pop in free Atlas articles, but they are getting fewer now, sadly. I mean, I think it's always going to be the way, isn't it? You know, less and less observations, less and less conversation, less and less interest, and it will fizzle out there slowly. We're going to probably get into the same sort of area that we were with Oumuamua there, which was, it was a very interesting interstellar object. Nobody could fully agree. And yeah, then the conversation just slows down, so we never get the answers, sadly, there. Zena is in the house. How you doing there? Have you got money for the Uber saucer? I robbed a cow on the run from the US Air Force. Never. Never there. Where are we? And B, I even broke the headphone out for this one. Oh, interesting. See, it's having a negative effect, though, on our help, though, tonight there, B. You guys can pick up those differences. So what we're doing differently tonight, guys, let me have a quick drink. Excuse me. What we are doing tonight, slightly differently from our normal alien radio signal hunt, is we are listening obviously out for those technological alien radio signals, but we're searching a specific star tonight called Tau Ceti there. You know, it has a history of potentially sending us these signals, so that's what we want to hope to pick up tonight. It is a similar star to our sun, and we do know of exoplanets in orbit there, so this makes it quite an interesting candidate. A lot of the time we're just letting the Earth rotate and that dish sweep across the sky there, and get a range of different stars, but yeah, we're particularly monitoring that one of interest there, or doing our best to there. I can turn it down a little bit more up if you need to there, so let me know. In fact, if I turn it off for a bit, let me just... Wait a minute. Wrong one, sorry guys. I don't think I even turned it down, that one. I mean, just... Let's mute it for a bit and see if that improves or disproves the experience for people. We've still got the visuals. We can always put it back on if we get something there. Loving the hashtags there, B, appreciate that. And would you be able to pick up any visual signals rather than audio? Good question there. So, I mean, well, this is just listening to. It's just converting it into audio, isn't it? There, so. We could decode it, but I think the question would be, we don't know what modulation, what encoding, you know, what type of signals the aliens may send. It's probably going to be quite simple, isn't it? It's probably be going to baseline maths is one of the theories there, so it's probably going to be more, you know, that the signal is on and off rather than any message within the signal to decode it into audio or into video there, because I mean we have the sound on just because it's kind of interesting, kind of spacey, and if something does come through, but it's unlikely to be like a clear message there. But you never know, maybe they've been monitoring for some time, maybe they've been checking, you know, they've understood and decoded how our radio signals work, and they've been able to match that in reverse there. We never know, but we'll always crank that one up there. Oh, I think so, B. Atlas was probably a government test to see how people on social media would react there. I mean, I'm sure they were sort of paying attention to it there, but we know it is up there. You know, it was visible as an object, wasn't it, flying through the sky. So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Can you imagine if we did get a signal through that was just like blah blah blah, the voice of an alien? That'd be so cool. But it's probably, yeah, but it'd be more like mathematics. Even if we might even just not have any ability to decode it. But for us, the real fun is that, a detection of an actual signal there, that is enough for us. The fact that it is a technological signal not coming from this Earth. And Norwegian as well. Thank you for the gifts, and
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
thank you for feeding. Alan, how are you doing tonight today? So we're doing something a little bit different tonight. We are actually searching a specific star. So this is Tau Ceti. You can just about see it poking out here on the little tracker on the other side of the meter there. So it's still in a range of our dish tonight. It's a very interesting star indeed, quite close by, very similar to our sun. Yeah, very similar to our sun indeed. Ooh, let me just do that one. Yeah, so similar to our sun with exoplanets in orbit. 5 of them, in fact. Let's put that up there. Go. That is what that solar system looks like there, with 5 planets, a couple of them looking to be super Earths there, compared to our star, the sun there. Just a little bit smaller in size and in mass there. But if you're just joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. We are searching on the hydrogen line. That is the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorize we are most likely to hear any messages from ET, should they be out there. And it's where we've heard those weird signals in the past. So we are looking out for those radio signals, but we're doing it a little bit differently tonight. Rather than just pointing the dish at the random part of the sky, we have positioned it to be on a particular star, a star called Tau Ceti, about 12 light years from us here on Earth there. So it's on our street in sort of stellar terms. It's sent some signals in the past, potentially sent those signals in the past. They're anomalous radio signals. And very, very interesting, it is a sun-like star, is a G-type star there, so quite stable, quite habitable, and we know that there are 5 planets in orbit at least around that star, with a few of them in its habitable zone there. So it's a very interesting candidate indeed for SETI, for those radio detections, hopefully. Anyway, where are we in the chat there? So it's a little bit different tonight there. So in actuality, if the sun is dimmer, the planets would need to be closer. Basically, yeah. So it's cooler. That habitable zone there moves a little bit closer. So it needs to, it's that heat zone. It's warm enough to melt ice, so you've got liquid water, but not too hot that it boils off the water there, or close enough to the star that, it strips its atmosphere from it there. Because that's, again, the problem with one of the most common types of stars, which are red dwarfs. They're feared to be quite volatile. Because they're smaller, you need to have your planets much closer to them, and therefore they're in range of all of those coronal mass ejections, or that plasma coming off, which can strip the atmosphere. So although they are the most common type of star, I believe, they are thought less likely to host life just because of that variability. But as we mentioned earlier, life itself is probably much more capable of surviving in a whole wide range of environments that we haven't even really considered. We keep pushing that habitable zone further and further out there. So yeah, our one's going to be different to theirs. So all the different sizes of the stars, the different stars and solar activity level there and stuff like that. And hello, Becky and Nate and Loz. How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you're having a good Christmas period. So we're doing our alien radio signal hunt again tonight there. And Xena, Planet 9 inbound. Enki left the oven on. That's a gas bill. He's not going to want to come back to that one. But Planet 9 is interesting. They do feel like they're on the cusp, aren't they, of confirming a Planet 9 there. So that's another planet in our solar system that's on such an eccentric orbit that we don't see it most of the time there. Now, an eccentric orbit is basically just non-standard. So your normal ones is you've got your star in the middle and they're just, casually in orbit on that lovely plane there. But if you get a wonky one going at an angle there, or if you get one that maybe, kind of is on a real suit out there and then kind of comes back and then goes out there. They are called eccentric orbits there. So yeah, they do think that Planet 9 spends most of its time out far, far away and then comes back in to our sun every now and again. And they theorize that gravitational interaction with the inner solar system there could cause havoc and could be responsible for some of the weird tilts of the planets that are known there. Because is it Neptune or is it Uranus there? It's got a weird tilt, and they go, why is it Why is it at that angle? It's as if it's had a close interaction with a gravitational, or like a high mass gravitational object there. So maybe things come through, and then you look into the ancient religious texts here, things like the Sumerian stuff, and they talk about a planet 9 coming in, causing havoc, and the gods hopping off, and things like that. So you never know. You never know, do you? Maybe they were right all along there. So you'll see how the blue lines are flickering so fast. Whatever the tick was, it's that. So that's actually good. You can hear the audio, match the audio to the frequency. Maybe, yeah, you can identify it to a certain frequency there. Very good there. So Nibiru might be real. Maybe they do think. I mean, it's one of the things that they keep going. Oh, we feel like we're close to it, and then we get new technology, and they go, oh, we feel like we're even more close to it. But yeah, I think the theory is that there is probably an eccentric planet 9. What it looks like, its mass. You know, they're not there. It's not like a direct observation. It's by the trail that it's left. Basically, they're going, look at all these things it's knocked out of its way. This has gone round here. It looks like there's something big has been through here. But yeah, they do think they're actually close to a direct observation and being able to figure it out there. We have changed the top banner, Agent X. We are doing something ever so slightly different. So it is a live alien radio signal hunter tonight, but we are searching a particular star, a specific star called Tau Ceti. So I've moved the dish to align for this star for a certain period. So the idea is that, yeah, we're going to be listening and monitoring Tau Ceti there. So it's 12 light years away from us. It's a sun-type star with a history of potential alien signals coming from it there. So it's a very good candidate. It's got 5 planets, exoplanets in orbit there. There we go. That is what the solar system of that star looks like. It's covered up a little bit by me and the gift, but you can see all those other planets in orbit there, super Earths, they do think there, so much bigger than our Earth there. But the sun, there's a light by like of Tau and Sol, our sun, are there, so they're very, very similar indeed. So yeah, it's a strong candidate for life. Very interesting to SETI there. And what with those past signals being so close by, it does make it an interesting candidate. So we're monitoring it now, and it is now leaving the range of our dish, but it is still in range at the moment. It should be for another 20 minutes or so. So we're going to keep monitoring, seeing if we pick anything up from the star that has the history of it. TB, no stars tonight, sadly. Yeah, sadly not tonight. It's white and opaque and didn't used to be, yeah, so we've still got the actual radio signals going on behind it. So actually, if you can kind of see it, guys, faintly there, that is actually the live radio signals coming in across all the different channels of the radio dial. Then we've replicated it down here, display it in a slightly differently there. So we're displaying it in averages, so you can see these patterns a bit clearer and see the changes over time clear. But we've overlaid this tracker tonight because we are pointing at a very particular star indeed. We want that to be on screen now. If you're over on the horizontal ones, as you'll see at the Thing UFO, do give us a follow over there, appreciate that. But yeah, as you can see in a second, look, there is actually more information going on all around the screen, to the left, to the right, to the bottom, to the top. And that bottom bit that's behind me here, it's a live sky map there, tells you where our dish is pointing. That isn't actually correct. No, that is where the dish is normally pointing, so you have to ignore the bit that's then on this bottom level here, or if you're on the horizontal, this bit here is not of use, not in operation tonight. There. Oh, it's a nice change there. And next, and Adam, how are you doing tonight? Where are you watching from? There and over on the tubes there. We are Becky there and Nate. It's always good to see you there. Where is that? It's the end of the world every week. It does feel like it, especially if you're on TikTok. And Raf, good to see you. How are you doing there? And what's the frequency? So the frequency is 1.420 there. It's the hydrogen line. It's the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorize that if ET is out there, this is the place that they would put that message. And back in the 1970s, the infamous WOW signal was detected right there, right where that middle line is there. But it is where we have received over the years many, many interesting signals that could be candidates for alien radio signals. So it's the channel on the radio dial that scientists do theorize that is the most likely place that we will hear those signals. That's a good question. The Kuiper Belt was a planet destroyed in the Orion Wars 22 million years ago, according to the Book of Enki. I mean, I've heard it as well, didn't they? No, I'm thinking of the Kuiper Belt's a bit further out, isn't it? Which one's past Mars? just past Mars. Because that one they talk about, could have been a planetary core as well there. Just finish your second in an 11-hour shift. Oh, nice piece. 100. That sounds like a good treat for something like that. That is a long old shift there. 2 in a row as well. There. Is it a Fray Brentos flavoured pizza for you there? To observe its movements. Oh, what's the first part of that one? I didn't catch the first part of that. I think it might have been Roof there, Carl, sadly. Oh, the Oort clouds. Oh, so the Oort cloud's further out, isn't it? So the Oort cloud is the one that encapsulates our whole solar system, isn't it? It's where Voyager is just on the edge of, isn't it? There. So just outside of Mars is the asteroid belt. Which one is the Kuiper belt? Is that also the asteroid, or is that a further? Oh, it is. Or is the Kuiper belt the Oort cloud? Is that what you're saying? And I've just totally butchered it there. Because yeah, I know the asteroid belt. So just after Mars, there. Belt of asteroids, lots of debris basically, so it's not quite enough to be a whole planet, but it's just because of the end of the world every day. It does feel like it, doesn't it, B? But yeah, where's my brain gone now? Yeah, that was it, just after Mars, the asteroid belt there. Yeah, it's not enough material, I think, for a whole planet, but it could have been a planetary core. And then you look at something like Mars, and it's got those shapes to it, hasn't it? That it's a sort of distended. It's almost like a lemon. It's been squeezed there, and they do think they may have been tidally locked, gravitationally bound to a larger planet. That Mars may have originally been a moon there. And Andreas, how are you doing tonight? Thank you for the share there. Good to have you in, and thank you for the follow as well. Where in the world are you joining us from tonight? So we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight, guys. And we are searching a particular star. It's just still in range of our dish. It's called Tau SETI at 12 light years. So it's quite close in stellar terms, and it looks a lot like our sun there. So very stable. It has planets in its orbit that are known. There's known exoplanets, 5 of them. And it has a history of potentially sending us signals. So that is what we are doing. We're listening out as Tau SETI there passes in front of our dish. Are we going to be picking up any signals that they're coming from that star? That is what we want to hear. Oh my God, that is trimming us down there. How you doing? I'm alright. I'm surviving. We're getting there. I mean, the less I do over the holiday, I'm trying to take it easier. The less I do, the less I am capable of doing. I've still got plenty of chores to be doing there. And Trans-Neptunian, the Kuiper belt is between Neptune and Pluto, I think. Excellent. That makes sense then. Yes, Trans-Neptune there. Okay. You know, I haven't heard much on that one. So I know the asteroid belt is that they've done the maths, they've added it up there. They didn't account for a whole sort of rocky planet. There wasn't enough material, but they did theorize a core. But yeah, I've not really heard about the Kuiper belt there as well. And through us, Tau SETI, that is exactly it. That is the star that we are monitoring tonight. It's still in range of our dish, so we're hoping, because it has a history of potentially sending sort of intelligent radio signals, we're hoping to detect those again today. But yeah, I'm not sure how long we've got left. I think it's still, yeah. Got a few minutes of it still being in range, but we shall see how it goes. So yeah, and if you are joining us for the first time, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from. If you've ever experienced anything strange that you cannot explain in the night sky, we'd love to hear about that. As we're waiting for those potential radio signals to come on screen, but we do something alien UFO every night. We do a skywatch if it's clear, and we're based in Wiltshire, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So these guys got a long history with the phenomena. There, see lots of weird things running around in the night sky there, and if the moon is up, normally the early part of the month there, we saw the craters on the details and talk about how weird some of those sightings on, off and around the moon have been. So join us for those as well. And scientists confirm Earth is in the Milky Way. Can they even reach a consensus on that? And the red car and the blue car had a race. All Red wanted to do was stuff his face. What's that? Oh no, that is it. Yeah, so that is what we are doing tonight. I've got a slight interference signal here tonight, so that is still there. Very, very interesting. But then again, it would be if it is local interference, wouldn't it? It wouldn't matter where we're pointing the dish, we would still get that. But yeah, Tau is still in range. I wonder when that's going to go out of range. We've got another 10 minutes, maybe? God knows. There, but it is 12 light years from us here. Bazza as well, hello, how are you doing? Okay, quick question. Has TikTok been kicking you out at all tonight? Because it's doing something weird on my end, and I can't quite figure out if it's TikTok having a sulk or if it's something else having a sulk. So any of the regulars, have you been having trouble? Has it been throwing you out at all? Or is it something else that's going up? Is it just the software I've got here? But yeah, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt there. You've been kicked out twice. That is weird. That is weird. Like, why are it's doing that? Because the stream's been reasonably consistent. We haven't had any connection issues. A very, very strange thing indeed. I'm worried to read what the end of that little rhyme's going to be there, Raf. So, yeah. It is very, very strange indeed there. Who have we got in there? AA Trader, how are you doing there? Abul as well, who is joining us there. M the DJ, good to have you all in. Where you're joining us from in the world. We are searching for potential alien radio signals. Lauren there, and hello 155, how are you doing? Machine the Octopus as well, good to have you in there. Costas as well, how are you doing? So we're doing a live alien radio signal hunter tonight, hoping to hear a signal from a very particular star, very special star called Tau SETI. 12 light years from us on Earth, a sun-like star that has a history of potentially sending us signals. So that is what we are doing, listening out to see as our dish passes over that star if we are to be getting any messages indeed. Oh, you're on the YT? Yes, that's alright. It's from an advert there, long before Lovejoy. Oh, well then I don't pay attention, but that's how I mark time, is before Lovejoy, BL, and AD, what was that one, after Lovejoy, AL, there. It was the Milky Way song from the advert in 89. No, that's after Lovejoy then. Lovejoy was 87. Then it went on a break, came back in 91, I think. There we go. How is everybody doing? It is a little bit quiet there. So we've not got the interference line here. Oh, it's checking for something. Flane, how are you doing tonight? Where are you joining us from? Where in the world there? So say we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt, searching the stars, hoping to hear ET say hello. We've got a very large radio antenna there, and as the Earth rotates, it's sweeping across the sky, passing over various stars. And hopefully one of those will have a planet that will be sending us a signal, and should hopefully come up on the screen there nice and clearly. But tonight we are focusing on a particular star that is still in range of our dish there, called Tau SETI, at about 12 light, just under 12 light years from us here on Earth. So on our street in space terms, with 5 exoplanets in orbit there and a sun-like star, so very, very stable. A good candidate to host life, but most importantly, it has a history of sending potential alien radio signals there. Mike as well, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? If you're new here, do say hello. Love to hear from you. Hear where you're watching from, but also if you've seen anything strange, ever had an experience with a phenomena that you cannot explain, we'd love to hear about that. And it's almost certainly moving away. The flashes of blue are getting further apart. Okay, so maybe there has been a correlation by the time that it has been passing over our dish, because it's definitely on the moving out section now. So maybe there has been something. We've not got that direct, clear signal, but maybe it was generally... there might be something going on, because again it still applies that these distances, even though this is a close by star, these distances are so vast. So by the time a signal gets here, it might not be a nice clear spike on the radio there. It might be quite faint and therefore going in the background there. What's that? Are you guys all singing over there? You having a bit of a sing-song over on the tubes there? Never surprises me, you lot. But yeah, if you do want to see the horizontal version, you can see a little bit more of what is going on. Boom. There we go. You can see the full horizontal view there. There's more analysis going on. A little sky map there tracking where our dish is pointing and whatnot at the thing UFO there. Oh, so it's still, yeah, it's getting out of range, but until it's 20 minutes until it's fully out of range there. So it's a very interesting target star. I would think of what other candidates in the Northern Hemisphere that we can start to point at. It is a pain trying to align the dish, but I think it's good to point it at a star that is that has a history of potential signals. I should do Ross 128. Is that a Northern Hemisphere or a Southern Hemisphere star? I'm not sure. Oh, busy. So regulars, wherever you may be, I'm thinking of tweaking the times again slightly, so it'll be a little bit later again. I'm playing around with different times, so I'm thinking this week, not sure if it is a good week to test it, but trying from 10 till midnight UK time. So if you miss us next week, then remember it might be a little bit later. So hopefully you can all still join us. But yeah, just a heads up, I'm considering tweaking at the time, so 10 p.m. Next week, UK time for our streams. Hopefully we're going to get Skywatch in, though. We're going to be able to see some weird and wonderful things flying around in the night sky. Perfect for me. Well, in the summer, we didn't start the streams till like 11 or 11:30 p.m, so I wasn't getting up, even getting off the stream until like the wee hours, then trying to get to bed. It was a nightmare. I was not doing very well at my job. I was getting up a couple of hours later. Yeah, I was thinking of trying that one there. We're going to our Agent X. We're going back to the early days there. Oh, perfect, Carl. It's in the Northern Celestial Hemisphere, so that we can point it out. That is a favourite for me. So I like that one, Carl. Thank you for checking that out. You only live once, and probably that once is going to be a lot shorter if I keep burning the candle at both ends. But hey, I had this realization, like, we're going, what have we done to offend TikTok lately? Why was our streams at 130 and then we go down to single digits and stuff? I'm thinking of everything you can possibly imagine there. Then one thing clicked in my head that I hadn't considered when I've been racking my brains for the last 4 months, which was, we used to do this a lot later because that's when it got darker. And what probably happened was that a lot of people, and the people don't mention it now, they used to use the stream to fall asleep to. So, excuse me, this is weird. Yeah, they used to fall asleep to the stream, and I'm thinking, well, if we're on too early, they can't do that. But that probably just put the watch hours up there. And is it? It's literally everywhere. Is it to the same degree though, B? Because I've seen some people that have fallen smaller, but we used to do averaging 130, and now look, we're down to 10. Which is fine if it's the OGs. I don't mind that. But what is it there? And paranormal streams are watched by cryptids. Have they got a TikTok account? They'll never do the age verification, will they? Take a picture of yourself. Have you got any ID? Do they have a passport? Johnny's in. How are you doing that? Oh, it's a bit late. Oh, no, that is a bit late. Well, that's a shame. Well, we're going to have to test this week because I've got to try and find the sweet spot, because in the summer it goes later anyway. We might have to figure a way of doing longer ones so then they overlap a little bit earlier, maybe. Because we've tried doing it from 9. But I need to try and figure out that one, or at least problem solve to know if that's it to there as well. Now down to about 8. Oh wait, what's the? I think it cut out the first part of it. What was the high number there, B? I didn't see the first part. To be honest, 9 suits me, I think, the best. Is normally we do a little bit of 5 down to 8. Okay, that is actually quite a big chunk there. That is a big one there. It was either that or it was all this ridiculous AI restriction they've put in that just people aren't generally using the platform as much was one of the theories, you know, because it is awful now with those things. Put an AI max headroom on. Yes, max headroom takes you back there, doesn't it? They're not ET, they're coming from Earth. I mean, it's one of the theories, isn't it, you know? It is one of the theories. And you know, a few that are also strong. Yeah, it's just knowing what we're doing. I think I'll tweak with it a bit there, but if that fails, then we'll just hang around doing what we normally do. And yeah, that's the thing, B. It's the same. That's the thing, you know. It's either everybody all of a sudden decided they weren't interested in aliens, or yeah, I was just trying to figure out what it was though. But we have changed our times quite a lot because we've been trying to follow definitely we did start trying to follow when it was getting dark, you know, because that was the best. You know, we were waiting as soon as it got dark. Basically, we started going on earlier as it was getting darker earlier, and we had to stop because I wasn't even finished by work. So we stopped at 8 there, and was planning on, you know, following it back up. You know, as it started to get lighter later there. That was the plan anyway, but we'll see. Also, for the space folks, it could be that the free ice spikes, and the solar flares, you never know. There. Could the inhabitants of Tau SETI have a sense of humour and are watching you and not sending a signal? Well, there's a good argument, isn't there, that actually maybe everybody's listening and nobody's sending signals. We sent a signal once as a species, as humans. And that was in the early 70s, and it's our most powerful transmitter, the Arecibo space radio telescope there, which we've lost sadly now. But we sent it once. It was more of a symbolic gesture. You know, we're humans, we're on the third planet from our star, we're DNA-based life, all that sort of stuff, carbon-based life there. But we sent a message once there, so maybe everybody is just listening. You know, maybe it's a bit of the dark forest. We don't want to shout too loudly because you never know who might be listening. So maybe we're all out there just listening and nobody's saying anything there. But I often wonder when we're doing the skywatches and you can see all of the stars, absolutely stunning, especially when you see the colours of them. They're absolutely amazing. You think, you know, around one of those stars, is there a planet that's looking back at us? Maybe they're doing a similar sort of thing. You know, you never quite know. How you doing, Simon? Good to see you in. Have you had a good Christmas period? I hope so. Alan says hello. There, and loving the stickers. Where are we? Okay, to 11 p.m. on a work day. My medication usually has me knocked out by 11. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, we don't want to do any later than that this time. I think probably it's either going to be 9 or 10 is the consistent one where I want to settle on. I think I'm going to try 10 this week. So hopefully we'll still catch you for an hour. Maybe you can fall asleep with us on. I never understood how people could fall asleep to my yapping, but each to it. But it's not, we don't want to miss out on you, up. So it's a serious consideration if it's too late for you. We'll have to rethink it, Alan. Were the Phoenix lights flares a UAP or a hologram? It's a good question, Jolly. It is a good question. They didn't seem to act like flares. They seemed to be there for a lot longer and a lot more stable, didn't they? But then again, is that a gut feeling? Do I actually know that? I just started it today, so I'll update you and haven't smashed the laptop yet. Oh wait, what's that one for, Ref? Oh, there we go. I've read that one. I can't say that one on TikTok. A Black Ops X311 prototype designed to be seen for a reason. That signal may not have even arrived. Well, that's a very good point, because obviously signals they travel at the speed of light there. It's the same as light is the same as a radio wave there. It's all in the electromagnetic spectrum. So when we talk about how far our Earth signals have travelled, we have to consider how long have we had radio technology, and it's also 120 years, something like that. There, so the maximum our signals could have travelled is 120 light years, which really isn't far in stellar terms. We're still pretty much in the same town, relatively speaking. And again, a lot of those ones were not very powerful earlier, and so the same applies when receiving them. You know, there's such a long delay. If you've ever been on a Zoom call where you've got a slight bit of lag and then you just kind of keep talking over each other, and that's with a millisecond delay, let alone 1,000 years or something there. Rendle, you have to go to, if you go to Rendlesham and get abducted live, would go to see. That's what's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Well, that would be a sight for Ryan, wouldn't it? There, I wonder what the signal's like. I bet TikTok would stop the gifting. You know what they're like. Oh, Simon as well. Thank you for the gifts, Dan.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for feeding Alan. Does anybody need their SETI stream stamped for their passport? What's that one there? Jolly, why are all the deep space astronomical infrared and radio measuring light madness facing out, not up? What? What do you mean out is up if it's a sphere? And I know you don't believe it's a sphere, but if it is a sphere, then out is up. It's all technically up, isn't it? Or are you talking about a specific piece of equipment there? Because they do look, don't they, point in for some of the gravitational wave detections there for the muon particles. They don't point up, do they? Is this an intergalactic passport? It is a galactic, so it's limited to the galaxy. It's not intergalactic, sadly, but it is. See our galactic stream passports there. Stay in Yorkshire. Scotland is an armpit. I'm sure our Scottish viewers would disagree, but Yorkshire is quite nice there. Oh, Simon, so we've changed it slightly at the minute. So today we're doing something special. We've repositioned the dish. So we have been watching a specific star. So rather than just going with the Earth's rotation there and whatever is seasonally in the part of the sky where the dish was pointing, we aligned it with a specific star called Tau Ceti there. So we've only got 4 minutes of it being left in range, sadly, there. But yeah, this star is an interesting one. It's only 12 light years away. It's a G-type star like our sun there, so that could be, you know, a good sign for a possibility of life, because we know life can exist around G-type stars, hence us there. And we know of 5 exoplanets, that's planets in orbit around that star, super Earths as well, and it also has a history of potentially sending us a signal. So we were focusing on the specific one tonight there, but it's just on the tail end now. It's just about to be leaving our dish's range there. Time to peak range. I don't know that. Well, that's an error. Time to out. I forgot another 8 minutes for it to be out of range. So ignore the 3 minutes. That's wrong. I already got it. I was just waiting to get paid for the purple stream. Oh, don't worry about getting paid. B. I think you've already. You don't have to pay for that one, do you? What's actually, where is everybody? Let's see who is up to date on these ones. So B. So you don't need to do anything money wise on that one. You just need to follow us on there. So it should be a free one for that one. Get that stamp. I shall use the passport when in Star-Lord costume. I expect so, Agent X. Need to make sure you've ticked all your stamps off there. I can't wait to see England and Scotland in even the armpit parts there. There's definitely a few armpit parts there. You have to let us know when you're in the area. I'm out of the passport. Only. Well, you can still get the other ones there. We might do one where we still post them to the people that aren't on the others. Yeah, they're just it's not about the part in the money, so you just got to click follow. As long as you've got an account there, you just go follow, and then it's all ticked. Same with for the YT as well there. And, you don't need the money for those. Where are we in the chat here? We are searching for life using the wrong metrics. Oh, maybe I didn't read that one. Life on Mars may not be carbon-based. Well, this is the assumption, isn't it? That we are basing our assessments for life, and I think reasonably understandably, isn't it? We've got to start somewhere. In the wide range of possibilities, we need to, you know, pick somewhere to start from, which is, you know, what is our life? What is the life that we understand? You know, starting there. But it could be so different there. Why would it be necessarily the same restrictions applied to that as well? Mars is a celestial object. No one's going to land. I thought you said Mars the other day was just part of Earth. Where are we? I got your. I don't know if it was an Xmas card, but I got your initial one. Yeah. Ta-da! It's good. Got it on the shelf, Simon. And thank you for that. It makes me smile. And Carl as well there. Thank you for those. I've got those. Where are they? Up there. Alan was very happy, so thank you. Sammy letting us down. Get B up with a live outdoor camera. Outdoor camera? There's nothing to see outdoors. I was tempted to give you access to my Ring outdoor camera there, so you can watch me fall over as I'm putting the camera up and slip down the steps there. Feed Alan, exactly. Alan has to be fed, or he starts to eye me up. So 4 minutes left of Tau SETI being in range. I think we'll probably wind the stream up for then. No life is Bigfoot land. Oh. I'll get beat up with I get you, man. Yes, a live feed from Appalachia, 100%. I'd love to see that one be, and not by myself. Yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, see that one. It does live, yes, and lives it all there. It's ground zero. Loving these stickers there, Carl, as well. Thank you. In fact, I can start posting the passports that have been done. In fact, passport holders, you guys that have completed your passports already, if you're all on here, I think if you aren't, but message on the Patreon and your addresses, and I'll get those posted for you this week. Get them sent out because we should be past the Christmas rush of postage there. It's all on your doorstep there. So, hold on, where is it? There we go. So, it's an interesting star system, old Tau SETI there. So, very, very similar star to our Sun, but 5 exoplanets in orbit there. But super Earths, a couple of them are going to be super Earths there. And I don't know if how much of a super Earth, isn't it like twice the mass and size of our Earth here, but a similar composition. I'm not sure where the limit is, at which point, you know, just the sheer mass of the planet there prevents you from ever leaving it. You know, if there's that gravitational issue, you know, you're just gravitationally bound to your planet just because there's so much gravity, you'll never get like chemical rockets to take you off of it there. Again, it's very, very similar to our temperature-wise. Oh yeah, look, very, very similar there. An age... Oh, it's a little bit older as well. There we go. That's even more interesting. It's a little bit older than our Sun. So again, more time for life to have developed there. When you hear, oh, we're all going to do a trip B. There'll be 30 of us there. Exactly, I do all the group as well. Even Alan's warming up. Only slightly. Where are we? Sausages on toast are better when you're... Oh, yeah. You get the beans and sausages in a tin. I wouldn't eat them normally, but when you're hungry in the middle of the night... Amazing. There. Oh, BBC News saying the Big Bang could be a crush and go backwards. So it's one of the theories, isn't it? It's like, is it cyclical? Does it just explode once, you know, and then just expands and dissipates out, you know? Or does it then start to contract and shrinks back in, and then what happen again? There's many theories around it, isn't there? And so I don't. Have they got some new information that maybe has locked it in? That could be what's happening there. Rent a cabin. That's the setup for a horror movie, isn't it? And Alan in the woods. Yeah. Pluto.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for feeding, Alan. How are you doing? There. But yeah. So have they locked that in? That could be very, very interesting there. When we go in, I'll hunt Bigfoot, and you can do the caves. I realise it's nice and like in the safety there. I'll handle everyone's sandwiches there. The caves. I ain't doing the caves. Hell no. I prefer Bigfoot than the caves, mate. Ooh, claustrophobic on that one. How you doing, Pluto, though? Good to see you, matey. Well, you're zooming in on the brightness, aren't you? That's why. So you're not actually zooming in on the physical object there, because I get what you mean there. Like if they're so far away, and they're, you know, does the size wouldn't change for the distance there, but it's if they're brighter, which can be a size, you know, how many lumens are this going to appear to us like a large object. I would have thought, but I'm not a specialist there. Where, you know, the good spots. The dark matter is changing and they can't explain. See, dark matter is an interesting one. I don't know where I stand on this, because the reason that they say dark matter exists is because the way that they've observed the galaxies to be moving in the night skies implies that there is, you know, more gravity pulling them around than can be accounted for by the mass that they've estimated for all of the planets and all of everything that's floating around out there. All of the stuff that we can see, they've added it all up and says there's 10 ton of that, and that means there's X gravity, which then would make the galaxies move. But the galaxies are moving differently, so they've theorized that there is a question mark. There must be some other matter to make up the difference, which is about half, or if not more than that, and they call it dark matter because they can't see it. So I think maybe your initial maths is maybe slightly off, rather than keep coming up with question mark matter. I don't know how I feel with there. You do the howling. I can hear you from here. Busy as ever. How are you? We are all good there, Pluto. Is it good busy? I don't mind good busy. Whistling attracts the Wendigo. Okay. No whistling, note to self there. Oh, hey, that sounds like an offer there, B. 10 minutes, though, with Alan. You'll be regretting it. And no, my luck, I'll get to wake up next to a female Bigfoot in the woods. Might not be so bad. I thought I've woken up to a few female Bigfoots in my time. But, there. Oh, we timed out on the tracking there, Simon. Thank you. Yes, you're right. Well, Tau SETI has left the range of our dish, and you thought you got some sort of correlation there with the actual background signal, but yeah, there was no clear signals tonight, sadly, from Tau SETI. So we'll have to say next time we can align the dish then to do another search there. My daughter's second birthday, and trying to catch up on Strange Things. Oh, well, happy birthday to your daughter there. Second birthday. Ah, still magical. And young like that. I caught up on Stranger Things yesterday, and then I crashed out. That's why we weren't on. I thought I couldn't be bothered to do to finish the wiring. To watch Stranger Things instead. I thought the Big Bang wasn't exactly a bang, and yet I've also read the universe contracts as well as expands. Essentially, they don't know. There are running theories. In fact, there isn't like the Big Bang is like a 90s thing. You know, like it's not like we've thought this for a very, very long time. It's more of a, you know, this is just where we think we're at. You know, everything points to this, but it's still it's still a guess, and you know, realistically speaking, quite a loose guess. You know, so there may not have been any Big Bang there. You know, and does it contract afterwards? I mean, even the fact that the way the rate that the universe is expanding seems to be changing. The James Webb keeps mucking all of that up as well, doesn't it? Well, what happens if you move the middle line over to where the orange peaks are? So not much really. I can do it. Actually, I don't even know if I can do it on here. That's hard to set in this bit. But yeah, nothing really changes there. Like, even the audio doesn't change that much. I'm going to put the audio back up. What's that? I've got grub on my little mixer there. It's a Hollywood version of Carl Ferengi's Dark Place. Gets it like that. Where are we? Oh, my eyes are going now. All the operations there. Crunch, bang, crunch. It could be cyclical, and you know that is one of the contending theories with it. You know, it could crunch, and or it could be that you know it bangs, you know, and then the opposite, you know, is a black hole forms, or it could be from the formation of a black hole that you get the bang, you know, and it's a universe within a universe within a universe. I mean, yeah, high jump's a bit an interesting one. Sage, yes. That's on the mind there. Strange thing is based 50% on truth, which is scary enough, to be honest. I mean, I won't spoil it, but there's not a twist. They flesh out the details a bit more, and it didn't feel very Stranger Things. Felt quite normal. But it's not a spoiler, so don't worry about that. It's the state you live. It's Georgia, isn't it? You've gone to the set. Ah, you lucky. That is so cool. That is so cool. Being a bit of a radio geek, this season is really great for me. Because obviously they've got all the radio stuff in it there. And the station, also it's a set that they built, even the exterior is a set, but it's based on an actual little abandoned radio station. I was like, this looks so cool. The geek in me really, really wants a little abandoned radio station like that. Wish you didn't give me such mad power. I mean, it can be pretty jazzy. Thank you for the heart there, Pluto, as well. Always think of the giant peach thing, because that's the promo for what was it? House of Cards. That was it. He was from Georgia, wasn't he? In his town, they had the Peachoid, the giant peach water tower. That always reminds me of that when I think of Georgia. That's all I think of when I think of Georgia. Watch The Descent. Oh, I don't think I can. I know that. I know of that film, and I don't think I'm brave enough for that. Used to climb the towers, just like those daily. Oh, it's a bit of nostalgia. When I was younger, fine, but I get vertigo on land. Like might have just gone now. I get 2 steps up a ladder and fall off. Oh yeah, is it the lab one? Yeah, because that was like an old hospital or something. I think they've knocked it down now. So, but I saw some urbexes doing it. I'm like, that's so cool. It looked like such a cool building as well. You've heard a lot of whining about Stranger Things. I mean, it's still alright. Oh, what's in the Cook's journals, Zeno? I don't think I know about those. It's a bit of a slower pace. They feel like they're not dragging it out. They're like, but it's fine. It's more like a movie pace per episode. Honestly, I don't play. That is so high. They are insane there. The AM towers as well. That's the one you got to go to. Oh, lucky. It's such a shame they knocked it down there. It did look like a cool building. No, Oak Island. Yeah. 300 million. Oh, God, no. Not that for me. There, Eric, as well. Thank you for the share. Appreciate that. But anyway, we are actually coming off now. Tonight, we are going to, regulars, we're going to be, as I said, trying 10 p.m. this week in the UK as start time. See how that goes. Excuse me. And if not, back to 9. But yeah, this week coming 10 p.m. UK time. And completed parcel to people, you know who you are. On the old Patreon, message me your addresses and we'll get your passports sent out there. But thank you everybody for joining us on a little bit of a different quest today. Searching for those signals from a particular star. But yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow. Probably will be another Skywatcher, not Skywatcher, probably another alien radio signal hunt. But yes, 10 p.m. Tomorrow for that. And I promise at some point I'll get the next deep dive booked in as well soon for you guys over on the Patreons for that. I'm glad I caught you as well there. And thank you for the gifts. That's very kind of you, mate. But good night, everybody. Thank you so much for keeping me company there, sharing the stream, supporting us there, helping us make some new friends, and your gifters and your subbers there, your Patreons, helping us improve what we do. So thank you so much. And we'll catch you all tomorrow. And that's going to be, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye. And